1530 AD, 54:24 AM. On June 25th, the Confession of Augsburg was conducted, which officially began the Protestant Reformation of Christianity in Germany, a literal revolt against the Roman Church authority. This date is 153 times 10, and 153 is the geometrical value for sons of God, a sum long associated with early Christianity. Almost immediately the Roman Church retaliated, and many years of intrigues and violence ensued. The Muslim Quran was published using the printing press in Venice, Italy, even before any copies of the Quran were published in an Islamic country. This was the year 1260 of the Christian Coptic calendar. 1. Planet in rebellion. 2. The discoverers. 1531 AD, 54:25 AM. The Spanish conquistador Pizarro arrived in South America among the Inca or Quiche, a people who reacted to the presence of white men with the same dread that the Aztecs experienced. Inca King Huáscar of Peru related an ancient prophecy of the coming of white men, which his own father told him, a prediction passed down for generations that foretold that in the reign of the 13th Inca, white men of strength surpassing their own would come from the east and hold dominion over them. A variant of this tradition was the prophecy of Chilam Balam, known throughout the Yucatan at this time, which foretold, quote, "At the end of the 13th age, when the Inca was at the height of power, the signal of God would appear in the heavens, and the cross with which the world was enlightened will be manifested. There will be variance of men's will in future times, when this signal shall be brought. Receive your bearded barbarian guests from the east," unquote. This is no doubt a corrupted Christianized version rewritten by the Spanish, but the signal of God in the skies is a comet. The coming of white men was intriguing to the Inca, for they recalled vividly the tales of their forefathers that claimed that the megalithic architecture in South America, quote, were the work of white auburn-haired men, unquote, who had lived thousands of years priorly. These may have been Phoenicians or Iberians. This same race of white-bearded men created a vast network of stone roads that the Inca maintained for a long time. The arrival of the Spanish was not peaceful, for even the Spanish chroniclers wrote that the conquistadors raped over 5,000 Inca women. The signal of God the Inca witnessed was perceived to be Halley's Comet, which was seen in this year. Nostradamus witnessed Halley's Comet, known then as the Great Comet, and also recorded by Appian. A quake at Lisbon, Portugal, killed 30,000. 1531 is the year found upon the Orontius Phineus map, which clearly shows Antarctica with running rivers and ice free. 1. Atlantis in America, Spence. 3. Fingerprints of the Gods. 4. Secret Places of the Lion. 5. Lost Cities and Ancient Mysteries of South America. 6. Nostradamus, A Life and Myth. 7. Introduction to Comets. 1532 AD, 54:26 AM. The Inca Huáscar is overthrown by Atahualpa, who then becomes the Inca of the Quechua people of South America in Peru. Atahualpa is considered an illegitimate son, and his seat was at Cuzco. Francisco Pizarro imprisoned Atahualpa and ransomed him back to the people for the gold and silver all around them, the requirement being that he be able to fill a certain chamber with it. The locals complied, stripping their facades and temples. Peru was the ancient Old Testament land of Ophir, Peru, where the scriptures claimed was located a lot of gold. In custody, Atahualpa learned how to play chess and speak Spanish, and the officers under Pizarro were enraged when Pizarro went back on his word to the people and strangled Atahualpa to death after he received the requested chamber of gold and silver. Pedro de Chiesa de Leon in his chronicles wrote that the megalithic city of Tiwanaku in the Andes Mountains of Peru, destroyed 1687 BC, had great doors of immense stone amazingly wrought, for the doorway with their jambs, lintels and thresholds were of a single stone. He expressed his amazement and failed to understand how this was possible. This is exactly what the archaeologist Porter found in the colossal remains of architecture at Bashan, the land of the Old Testament giants called the Rephaim, Huge doors all made out of a single stone, jambs, lintels and thresholds all together. At Tiwanaku were excavated statues of men with 6 fingers on their hands and 6 toes on their feet. In the Old Testament, the story of Goliath has one of his sons with 6 fingers and toes on each limb as well. Actual humanoid skeletons with 6 fingers and toes have been found. C. 1891 AD. A comet is seen over Europe which oddly is said not to have been Halley's, which was the one that appeared in 1531. However, the 1531 date disrupts the perfect orbit, while 1532 is closer to Halley's recorded periodicity. 1056 years after the fall of Rome was the fall of Peru to the Spanish. On the Lost Realms, Sitchin, 2 Lost Cities and Ancient Mysteries of South America.